Good morning, and happy Saturday post-Thanksgiving, everyone. Hopefully everyone had a great holiday. If nothing else, had some good food, some good family time, or if nothing else, just got some rest. I'm just getting ready to sit down and play chicken. For those of you who know, chicken is a DeFi NFT, an upgradable NFT that has DeFi, decentralized financing, part of its ecosystem and DNA, and yields certain things like eggs, and eggs are used to do something else. So anyway, so every day part of my routine is to essentially tend to my flock, if you will. And so I thought I'd record this because chicken has evolved exponentially since the chicken NFTs were minted, and egg came on the scene, and feed came on the scene. And so there's a lot of moving parts now. And so I thought this is going to be a longer video, but I thought I would record it so that anyone who's interested in truly understanding the full scope of the ecosystem can get that from watching my video today. So on my screen is the first steps. And essentially what I have in here is I have in the description, there's a lot of notes. There's a lot of links to the Twitter, the Discord, the Medium, the Reddit, the website, the docs for chicken, you name it. There is everything you need to know about chicken or want to know about chicken. You check the description, and there's a link to some of those places. But I thought I'd share my farm and the experience of my farm. So chicken.farm is the website, and essentially what happens is we have this NFT called chicken. And that NFT is upgradable, meaning it can grow in size. Each of those chickens push out eggs, right? Chicken lay egg. Just keep that in mind and keep it simple. Chicken lay egg. And so these chicken lays eggs, and the bigger these chickens are, the more eggs they push out. So here you're seeing my chicken screen where I've got 94 eggs to claim. So in my roost here, you see my chicken, the sizes of my chickens, right? So I've got to start feeding these guys so they continue to be bigger. But if you look at this one that's 41 kg, he's pumping out 11 eggs a day. Now, you may ask, eggs, what is an egg? So what? Well, if you look up here at this right here, you'll see the price of eggs is 16 cents right now. So basically, he's pumping out 11 eggs a day. And of course, that's not a massive amount of money, right? It's 16 cents, but it's 11 eggs a day. So it's about $1.84 in today's money. At one point in time, egg was up a lot higher before the market crashed. And you can go back and do the research on those numbers, but that's $1.84 a day that chicken is pumping out. That one chicken is pumping out. If you go back and you look at the top of my screen, you'll see that I got 94, almost 95 eggs a day at 16.8 cents. That's $16, almost $16 a day that these chicken are laying. And I could take those eggs if I wanted to, and I could go right over to Trader Joe and swap those eggs for $16 and keep it moving. But I'm playing the game. So it's time to feed my chicken because I want to continue to grow my chicken in size. It's going to take me 42,000 feed in order to do that. Chicken eat feed, right? And so I'm going to hit max and feed my chicken. And at some point in time, I'm going to have to add in some more AVAX gas. So chicken runs on the Avalanche blockchain. And so, they use Avalanche token for the gas, which means you got to transact. In order to transact, you have to have the Avalanche token to transact on Avalanche. But anyway, I'm going to feed my chicken. And again, this is going to be a longer video because I'm going to walk you through the game as I play it every day. This is a normal practice. It's a little bit later, but it's the weekend. It's the weekend after Thanksgiving, and I slept in a little bit. But I got some coffee, and I'm ready to get down on this thing. So what we're going to talk about, by the way, Hotel Pate in Iowa, cool hotel if you haven't been there. But what we're going to talk about today is the process of feeding a chicken. Once you feed the chicken, then you can grow that chicken for the day. That chicken will increase how many eggs they pump out. And then I'm going to use those eggs for something else, and so on and so forth. Egg is the central utility token of the chicken ecosystem. So I'm going to use that egg for something else. And once I do that, it will help pump something else in the ecosystem. So I'll show you that. I'm going to walk you through all that today. I had to stop sharing my screen for a moment in order to finish this transaction. So bear with me for a second as it MetaMask finishes processing this transaction, and then I will reshare the screen with you. So let's do that right now. All right, there we go. So I think we're back. All right, you guys see that? Yeah. Hold on. I'm not back yet. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to finish that transaction. Okay, so I should be able to pull chicken back up now. Here we go. So I'm going to make me a smaller version of the screen so you can see this. Okay, so I've fed this little 41 kg chicken, and pretty soon you will see an option. Once it finishes processing, you'll see an option for it to be upgraded. So I'll level them up, if you will, in essence, right? So give me a sec here. So obviously I'm streaming this live, so it's moving a little slower, but I want to show you guys the process. So once this chicken, once this feed is consumed by this chicken, I'm going to level it up. After I do that, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to claim these eggs. So I have 95.177 eggs to claim. I'm going to claim those eggs because I need to use those eggs. So let's go through while we're processing there. Let's go do that. Let's claim these eggs. Let me claim my eggs. These are my eggs now. Once I claim them, they're my eggs. I can sell them or I can use them in the chicken ecosystem. And for today's exercise, I'm going to use them in the chicken ecosystem, as I tend to do always, because chicken lay egg. Egg are needed for a number of things like feeding rooster, increasing my farmland, foraging. Eggs are needed for everything. So it's very important to have eggs or access to the ability to swap for eggs and get eggs to play the chicken game. But it all starts with just having a chicken. And essentially, if you have a chicken, you're in good shape. So, all right, so here we go. We're going to claim our eggs. So you can kind of see what this looks like. This is the MetaMask wallet. This is a transaction waiting to process. So we're going to claim our eggs. And once we get done claiming our eggs, we're going to move on and use those eggs to feed my roosters. So it doesn't ordinarily take this long because I'm live streaming, I think is the reason why it's taken so long. So it's usually MetaMask and Avalanche is pretty quick. We're talking about seconds on transactions. So this is more of a function of my computer, I think, and my internet connection with the live stream as it is to the Avalanche blockchain. So let's see here. It's moving kind of slow. So let me stop sharing that and see if I can get this to move a little faster for us. Bear with me a sec, guys. So chicken launched last November, and I didn't get in on chicken for the mint, but I came in a little bit later in December. It launched in November, so chicken just had a 1-year anniversary about a week ago. And it was pretty cool. They had a Twitter space and hosted by Clint, the Botcast, the legend that is. But the Botcast is a Twitter space that's hosted It had been hosted for 100 consecutive days by Search, Duke, and Clint, just talking about chicken. But anyway, it was hosted, and they went through and just talked and recapped on the year that was chicken, which is pretty cool. It's amazing. Okay, so let's go back here. Let me show you my screen now that we've done processing on the chicken. So I'm going to show you, I have fed the chicken. And so now I'm going to level up my chicken, because that is the next step required. So you'll see, when you see my screen next, you'll see that that chicken that was 41 kg is now ready to be leveled up and grown to the next size, if you will. So here we go. All right, so you can see feed chicken ready to level up. So now when I hit this button, he's going to go from 41 to 42. He's currently laying 11 eggs per day. That number will change once we level that chicken up. He'll go up, and I think it's going to be about 11.25. So he'll increase the output of eggs that he's laying every day. And that's the idea behind upgradable NFTs. You make them bigger, they yield more. And so chicken being from a DeFi perspective, you know, our investment is buying these NFTs. These NFTs are producing yield, right? Whatever token they're producing, that's yield, that's interest, that's growth. So this is a significant down market right now, obviously for crypto, for everything, stocks, 401ks. But this NFT is continuing to produce, regardless of what the market is, regardless of what's happening in the market. This NFT is continuing to produce. So this chicken will soon go to 42 kg here once it's done processing. We've already claimed our eggs, these 95 eggs. So let's go over and let's look at our rooster. We have a rooster. Oops. Give me a sec here. Let me finish off this claim. The MetaMask works really slow, unfortunately. And I didn't realize that. So again, my apologies, because it's probably going to make this video a little longer than I even anticipated being a longer video. But I'm going now. So you can stop, start, fast forward, do whatever you like. But it is going to be a little bit longer of a video. So my apologies. But it is what it is. It's Saturday morning. I got a cup of coffee, and I'm feeding my chicken, feeding my rooster, pulling my resources off of Farmland, foraging. And this is what I normally do. I normally, carve out 15, usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes a day to accomplish all that. And, unfortunately right now it's taking a little bit longer because of the slowness in the live stream video. But I'm going to show you each step, and I might just have to wait to do all the claiming, given how slow it's moving. But let me finish the transaction on MetaMask from my level up, and then I'll go back to presenting to you guys. All right, I'm gonna reshare my screen. We're going back. This time we're going to look at our roosters. All right, so here's our roosters. So roosters poop fertilizer. They poop fertilizer out. But roosters eat egg. And as long as you feed them at least one egg a day, they're going to continue to poop out that fertilizer. So we're getting about 4,000 fertilizer a day. So what we have to do is we've got to feed these roosters. You can see these roosters are now hungry. So usually once every 24 hours, you have to feed the rooster to continue having them poop out that fertilizer. So I'm going to use the feature that the devs created to feed all of my rooster one egg a day. There's a button on the website that allows you to feed all of them one egg a day, and cut down significantly on the time and the transaction costs that it might take to do that. So right here, this button right here says feed all rooster. So if I hit that button, that's going to feed all of those rooster, those hungry rooster, every day. we'll have to do this once a day, I'm sorry, but it's going to feed all of them today for me. And then they'll continue to go back producing fertilizer. So once I get all of my fertilizer, I'm going to use some of that fertilizer in a couple of different capacities. Today, I'm going to use it to forage, to get my guys back out foraging. So let me, I'm going to stop screen sharing because I know that moves really slow when I do it. And I'm going to hit the button to feed all of my rooster at one time. And once that's done, I will pop back on the screen because it's moving a lot faster now that I don't have screen sharing going on. But once I do that, I'll pop back on the screen and we will see what the next step is. Again, if you look at the description in the comments and in the actual description for this video, you'll see we're going to feed chicken, which we've done. We're going to claim the eggs, which we've done. Now we're going to feed rooster. And by feeding the rooster 1 egg a day, it's going to automatically claim all my fertilizer for me. So I don't have to worry about, claiming it separately, which will save me on transaction costs and also save me on a lot of time. And then once I've done feeding my rooster, claiming my fertilizer, now I have 2 options to pursue. The first option, we're going to take that path, is we're going to use some of that fertilizer in order to set up our foraging and make sure that when we are done with foraging resource claims, we're able to send them back out to do some more foraging for us. So let me finish up the rooster feeding session. All right, and then I will go back to presenting my screen with you right now. All right, here we go. All right, so I have 4,000. Pretty soon you're going to see all of that will disappear. I also have hungry rooster. I've just fed them all, and you hear the bagok. I fed all my rooster, so it's feeding them all right now. And then once it does that, I'll have my Fert. All the roosters will be back to pooping Fert, and it will be time to move on to the next step, which I'm going to show you. Again, the next step is we're going to look at Farmland. Pop over to Farmland and check on our LP rewards. So what am I talking about? So there is the chicken NFT, there's the rooster NFT, and then there's the Farmland NFT. For those of us who held chicken and stuff like that, we actually got a free Farmland dropped on us from the developers for being a chicken ecosystem participant. Farmland is another NFT, another upgradable NFT. So the more eggs that I burn on this Farmland, the more tiles. It started with just that little barn, as you can see right here. Initially, this Farmland was actually just the barn itself. And you have to continue to burn eggs. Use those eggs the chicken are laying every day to burn those eggs to add more tiles. So you can see this one started with the barn, and then I burned some eggs and added 1 patch. It added another patch. And then once I did that, eventually it grows to 24 tiles. And now I have an infinite 121 bigness farmland. So this farmland is also an LP, liquidity provider farmland, which means I could stake some money in here and it will start earning some yield. And right now it is earning feed for my investment, and it's also earning worm for my egg AVAX LP pair. So egg AVAX, it's a dual rewards currently because feed is getting close to minting out or going away. So I got about 111,000 feet a day I get, and about 111,000 over 120 days, which is close to about 1,000 worms a day. You can also have a Fert AVAX LP farm. Again, this pays interest, right? This is all paying interest. The interest is the free feed or worm. So I've got Fert AVAX farm, which is also pumping out about 9,000, about 1,000 a day, or excuse me, 3,000 a day feed. And then I've got a feed AVAX pairing, and that's pumping out about 4,000 feed a day. So I can go in and claim these. I can harvest or claim this free feed. It'll give me this feed right here, and I can use that feed to feed my chickens, or I can use that feed to do something else with it if I wanted to, or I can just stack it and save it up if I want to do that as well. But this is the farmland where you go once you have a farmland and you invest, basically put some egg and AVAX in there. So essentially what I could do is as my chickens are laying eggs, I could take half of those eggs and create an LP token and deposit it into this, and it's going to start giving me feed and worm daily. I could do the same thing with my fertilizer. I can take half of that fertilizer, buy some AVAX, swap it for AVAX, and then put an LP pair in here, and then it's going to continue to increase the amount of feed I'm getting daily. So this is the farmland NFT. I actually claimed already my egg AVAX so that I can feed my chicken. So I won't go too much into that now, but let's go back and let's look at our rooster. Remember, we just claimed, we just fed our rooster rather. So right now it's still showing that 4,052, but if you look up here, system's moving slow. If you look up here, my top of my screen, you can see I now have fertilizer 4052. So this will eventually update. All right, so let's go. And now that we've done farmland, again, if you're following along with the notes in the description, we visited farmland, checked on the rewards and what we were earning on our LP farm. Now let's go look at foraging. Foraging is a newer release of the game. Foraging will allow me to send out my rooster and chicken on my farmland. So I just showed you my farmland, and you see I've got a big farmland. There's 24 tiles. So foraging, I can send those roosters and chicken out to forage on my farmland to find resources. And I'll show you what different resources there are, but find resources. And through some of the next phases and iterations and launches of the game, I'm going to be able to take those resources that these chicken and roosters are foraging and finding on my land, and I'm going to be able to craft those into a usable NFT or a usable item that my chicken or rooster or farmland can use to become more efficient, to become more profitable, and to yield more, in essence, right? So foraging is, and let me see, I'm going to have to make this screen bigger so I can see it. So I will not be able to follow along with the screen. But foraging is it requires a lot of daily activity on foraging. But it also requires eggs, and it requires fertilizer, and it requires a farmland, and it requires chicken or rooster. So the first thing I always do is I look and go to my inventory, my silo, right, to see how much capacity I have right now. So I've got 5,900 space for 5,900 resources. My capacity, I'm using 5,813 of those right now. So I'm going to need to increase my capacity, upgrade my silo, because if I claim all of my resources and I run out of space, I'm going to lose those. So I know I'm getting about 200 or so roughly a day. So what I'm going to do is I need some eggs to increase the silo. So I need to bring some of those eggs I have in from my on-chain. I need to bring them to this off-chain space. So I'm going to do, say, 50 eggs, which will give me about 200, space for about 200. So let's deposit those in there. Actually, I think it'll give me space for 250. So every 10 eggs is 50. So let's do that. So I'm depositing some eggs and bringing them into my foraging area so that I can increase the capacity of my silo to handle all the resources. So here's the resources. You got dark matter, gold, avaxium, mana, liquidium, tungsten, mech, stone, veg, and lumber. And as you can see, some of these I don't have on my farmland. All right. So manna, no gold, no vacuum, no tungsten. I don't have those. Those currently do not exist on my farmland. So when I send out my chicken and rooster to go forage, they're only going to come back with the resources that I have on my farmland. And these are the resources that I have. So I'm also going to need to increase my Fert balance because I don't have enough Fert in here. And in order for my roosters, in order for them to forage each time, I have to have enough fertilizer, or 60 Fert, in order for them to go out and actually forage. 6 egg, 60 Fert. So I need more Fert because in order for me to send them back out, I got to have 60 Fert per rooster. And I'm using all roosters. You can use roosters chicken. You can use a combination. It's up to you. I'm using, because I have a pretty good production of fertilizer and I have high utility usage and need for egg, I'm using roosters in order to do all my foraging. You can send out 1 rooster per tile. So I've got 24 tiles. So I need to have enough rooster in order to fill all those tiles. So I've deposited, and I'm waiting for that to process, but I've deposited egg in here so I increase my silo. And I've deposited Fert so I have enough fertilizer. So when I claim my resources and send them back out, I have enough fertilizer in order to send them back out. So that's what we're waiting for right now for the transactions to process. There goes one. And then we're waiting on the second one, which there goes the second. So now, once I add more capacity to my silo, I'm going to go claim all of the resources that have been gathered by my rooster out on the forage. A little sonder, see what they came back for the sonder. All right, so you can see my egg balance just changed. I've got 55 eggs, so I'm going to go upgrade the silo. 50 whole numbers only. Burn 10 egg to increase the resource silo by 50. Upgraded capacity is 250. If I burn 50 eggs, now my silo increases by 250. So I'm going to burn 50 eggs, submit it to get some more space. So now you can see I now have 6,150 capacity. So let's go to forage. Let's go forage. Let's go claim forage. So here's this farmland, right? Here's a farmland. You can see these. If you hover over it, you can see what the actual resource is per tile, if there is any. Veg, dark matter, liquidium, wood or lumber. Okay. So if you hover over, you can see what actual resources are out there. You see my roosters are out there foraging. They're moving around, feverishly getting it done. So the devs have a great little feature where you can claim all of the forages at all of them, or you can go do one individually if you want to. But I'm just going to claim all. We're going to claim all the resources that have been gathered by these guys. We're going to claim it all at one time. So while we're waiting for that, I will tell you that the devs are still working on the run it back mode, is what I would say. In basketball, when you win or lose, you say run it back. So I need to run it back with sending these guys back out to forage, but I'm going to have to do that one at a time, as opposed to, just hitting a button to send all the same people back out there. But here you can see I've received 63 lumber from that last forage, 66 veg, 32 stone, 10 dark matter, 10 liquidium, and 26 mech. So that's 207 resources. So it's a good thing I upgraded my silo, because I would have lost all of those extra resources above what I had in there. I would have lost it. So they've brought back a haul. We've got the haul. Now we need to send them back out there. Run it back. Devs, I need the run it back feature. I need that run it back feature. Should be a button I can press to get these guys back out there. Right now, I got to go through and individually do it. I know you guys are busy, but I need you to get me on your list. Run it back. I need the run it back button, please. So right now, I'm working off of memory and trying to remember the ones that I've had out there and that have done a great job bringing in the haul. This is also a good reason, a very good reason to name your birds, to name your roosters, because then it is so much easier for me to remember. So right now I got McAfee, right? I remember McAfee. He's easy to remember. I got my guy down here. I haven't named him yet, but I got my guy down here. Oh, here's one I did name. Bagman. Bagman. I'll be eating Fert like Pac-Man. Another one that I named is Gramps. Right here, my guy Gramps. All right, so it's nice when you name them. It just takes a few eggs, and you can name those guys. But it helps you remember. But the devs are working on a run it back feature. I'm fairly confident we're going to have a run it back feature here pretty soon, so I don't have to keep remembering. So you see some of these guys down here that are unselectable. That's because they're underneath 24 kg. Roosters must be 24 kg or higher in order to forage. So some of these guys are they're not big enough to roll right now. Okay, so I need 2 more to send out to forage. Pressure's on. I'm sweating. Trying to remember which ones I had. Make the wrong choice. But I don't think there's any wrong choices. So I'm just going to have to I think this guy was doing work, 1558. And sorry, guys. We got Gramps out there already. I think this guy here. We'll put him in there. No, we'll go with this guy with the shovel. All right, so once I have them all selected, I hit this button here. It's telling me I need 1440 Fert in order to send them back out. And now my roosters are back out on the farmland, doing some more foraging, gathering some more resources as we await the next phase of the game to be released, which is crafting. I'll get to take those resources, craft them together, create something that my chicken, rooster, farmland can use or consume, or just an NFT that I can sell on the secondary market and continue to earn yield off of my NFT. So I've only paid for the NFT once. So its production every day is my interest off of that investment. And that yield for that interest can quickly be converted into real dollars, or it can be reinvested into the ecosystem to continue building. So I'm just playing the game, continuing to play the game. So foraging kicked, and then worm farm kicked off. So what is worm farm? Worm farm is farm underneath my farmland is a worm farm. And we deploy these worms into this worm farm, and they are digging. And as they dig, they will eventually run across treasures, which are, more resources or more eggs or whatever. They'll also eventually they're going to run across blueprints. And blueprints are what is needed in order for me to craft my items together, my resources together to make something. I need the blueprints. And so that will also be coming very soon. So in the interim, I'm just playing the game, right? My chicken lay egg. I feed the chicken, they lay egg. I take the egg. I use the egg to feed my rooster. My farmland is big enough now, so I will eventually have to start growing the farmland even more at 195, but it's big enough right now. Foraging came out, so I'm foraging, gathering resources. Worm farm came out, so now I'm playing the worm farm game as well. And I am digging. And the deeper you dig, the more opportunities to identify treasures and things of that nature. Now, so this is showing me that I need 210 eggs to dig. Well, I only have 199 because I forgot that I needed 210. So I need to pop over to Trader Joe's, and I need more egg. I need like 11 more egg, I think, right? So let me do that real quick because I miscalculated. I thought I was prepared and all planned and had all the resources set up to efficiently move through, and I forgot I needed 210 eggs and not 195. So bear with me as I go to Trader Joe's real quick and get some more egg. I need at least 11 more eggs so I can do the WormLand and deploy some worm and do some more digging. Digging. All right, so let's do this. 11 egg. All right. I'm going to stop sharing so I can get my transaction through quicker. Brought to you by Hotel Pate in Iowa. Cool hotel. Thematic hotel rooms, quilt room, some really cool rooms. Hotel Pate. All right. I should have my eggs here momentarily. There we go. All right. I should have enough eggs. I do now have enough eggs. So where we go. Okay, here we go. All right. So I have enough eggs now. So let me go back to sharing because sharing is caring. All right. So let me go back to sharing my screen. Presenting. Sharing is caring. Chicken forage. Okay. All right. So we're in the worm farm category. All right. So now I need 210 egg is what this is telling me in order to dig to this level. As you can see, I started here, went down. So now I'm down on the 4th level and I need 210 eggs. So up here it shows now I have my 210 eggs. So I'm going to dig. Digging requires 210 eggs, which means I'm going to burn 210 eggs. Expand tunnel rejected. Expand tunnel rejected. So this is the first time I've gotten to this level and it says my tunnel has been rejected. And what I remember from my guy search is this means I need to now expand my farmland. So expand tunnel rejected. So my farmland is 121 bigness. So what this means is I need to expand my farmland. This is why it's muy importante to participate in the Discord, because I only know this because I was in Discord. And in Discord, I saw someone ask the question about what the deal is with this. So right now, the farmland is 121 bigness. And I got to get it bigger in order to be able to keep digging deeper. So so this is good because I just learned this. This is what happens when you do it live. All right, so I got some work to do, but you can see. Let me go back to Worm Farm real quickly. You can see that each step of the way, right? When I'm doing worm farming, it's also reducing my foraging time. So typically when I send a rooster out, it's going to take 24 hours, but the deeper I dig, and also the bigger that those roosters and chicken get, the less the foraging time is. But on worm farm, the incentive or the motivation is, one, I want to find some blueprints. There's treasures there. but I also want to reduce my foraging time so that I can get them in and out, bringing in a haul. So you saw I had 200. I brought in 207 resources. Well, that's, it started out being every 24 hours. Now they're only doing it for about between 1830 and 1930 hours, right? So essentially, as I continue to dig deeper in my farmland, I'm going to reduce my foraging time, which will increase my daily haul of resources. And then I'll be able to monetize those resources, monetize them when I craft them into something using blueprints. So I want to keep digging deeper because there's going to be blueprints, more resources, more treasures found. So that's my motivation. So now I got a motivation number 2. Now I got to go and I've got to burn more egg and increase the capacity of my farmland. So it came up on me quick. I didn't realize or know when it would happen, but I knew it would happen. Sneaky devs. I'm going to get you suckers. All right, so my farmland. So how do I do that? Which is good. This is actually a good thing. So on farmland, when I want to increase my size, I have the opportunity to fertilize it, which will increase my multiplier. Right now I'm at 7x of 16x, and I would use fertilizer, or I can upgrade the farmland. And you can only do this once a day as well, right? So right here, I have 150 or 210 eggs. So I can burn 3 sets of eggs each day. So it's going to take 121, 122 plus 123. What is that? That's 367 eggs. I have 210 eggs. So I'm going to have to go back and get some more eggs, 157 eggs, which I'll do, but I won't do this on here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to increasing the size of my farmland because I can't go deeper in my WormLand unless I expand my farmland. So that's what I'm going to do. And I won't do that right now for the interest of time because I didn't realize that was going to happen. So 2 things left. I want to talk about egg night projects. So Chikn has I wouldn't say it's a VC arm, but I would say it's a VC type arm where they're taking on and bringing on new projects to expand the ecosystem and the reach and the utilization of other NFTs within the chicken ecosystem. A couple partners they just brought on. One was EdgyEggs. The other one was Madskullz. And I will go back to the screen and I'm going to show you EdgyEggs because EdgyEggs, if you buy an NFT for EdgyEggs, like you can mint one right now, it's $88 in USDC. If you own an EdgyEgg, you can then claim EdgyEggs gives off worms. They give off worms, right? So I have 15 EdgyEggs. I can claim this right now, right? So I have 264 worms to claim from my 15 eggs. It's been about a day and a half, something like that. So I'll need to claim those. And why are worms important? You just saw why worms are important because I need worms to deploy in my worm farm in order to keep digging deeper. And once I dig deeper, I got to deploy worms. I got to burn eggs and I got to deploy worms. So it's pretty cool that EdgyEggs, for buying and owning an EdgyEgg, they provide as a reward worms, and that's high utility in the ecosystem for chicken. The other partner is Madskullz. So Madskullz is a pretty cool NFT project as well. Madskullz, you have skulls.city, which is where you can if you own a Madskull, which I own a couple here, you can then stake those Madskulls, right? Madskulls, these are 2 that I have. This one is staked. And if you stake it, you can go to the portal once you stake it, and it will start earning flesh. So by staking my Madskull, I'm earning flesh. And it's important that flesh is important because I have 2 Madskulls. Only one is staked. Well, I have to unlock another slot. In order to unlock another slot, I have to have our flesh. And the only way to get our flesh is to have flesh. So so it's important that that I have this staked, let it build up over time. Once it builds up to enough, then I'll unstake it. I will convert some of that over to R flesh, and then the R flesh will allow me to open up another slot in order to stake my second NFT. I actually have I've got a couple more Madskullz that I bought, but I can only stake one at a time. So this is another NFT project that is part of the chicken ecosystem now, along with EdgyEggs, and excited to participate. And again, it's important to participate. It's important to play the game because playing the game and adding these NFTs to my portfolio, because they're chicken projects, their utility is going to be benefiting chicken. So at some point in time, we already see how EdgyEggs is working into the ecosystem. EdgyEggs is providing worm, and we will find out soon the same thing about Madskullz. What is it? What's the value? What's the reward for owning a Madskull? I'm sure that will be revealed soon, because this is a just newly launched Ignite partner. But that's just part of playing the game, right? So there's chicken, there's feeding the chicken, there's using the eggs, there's using the fertilizer, doing foraging, participating in LP farm, WormLand, owning some of the ecosystems that are out, some of the projects in the ecosystem that are out there, because those will participate. Everything works in an integrated fashion. There's no silos in the game of chicken. So it definitely benefits to play the game and to participate because the yields are fantastic. So the last thing I'll leave you with, and this is not in the description, but there's plenty of resources that people are just creating on their own around the chicken game in order to help us better understand the potentials of this project and better take advantage of this project. But if you go to chicken.101, for example, you can see what the return on your investment is for your chicken or for your roosters. Let's see. Give me 1 second, and I will pull up a scenario for you. All right, so this is just one example. They have ROI calculators for chicken, rooster, farmland, you name it, right? But depending on the size of your rooster, so I've got a rooster. One of my roosters are pretty fat, 107. Let's see, I think it's 106, 107. So depending on the size of the rooster, that rooster produces so much fertilizer. That fertilizer is worth so much, in essence, right? So if I had a 2 kg rooster, he's going to produce 8 fertilizer. All right, that fertilizer, and then you look, it tells you the number of days in order to get your return on your investment based on the cost of that particular rooster. Same thing for chicken, same thing for farmland. Some of the other resources out there, we've got Search for Yield, which Search for Yield has a site that is eggburn.xyz. We've got the Bach Terminal. The Bach Terminal is another pretty cool site. This site will show you, there's a number of things. I use it to keep track of my rooster placing and spacing. So you can see that if you if you were this guy, you owned 52 roosters, that guy is producing 3,860 Fert a day. That's $31 a day that those roosters are producing, those 52 roosters are producing. The APY, the return on that investment, is 261%. So at the end of the day, chicken lay egg, roosters lay Fert. You have an opportunity to use those resources to continue circling back in the ecosystem, or you can pull them out. So this guy, if he wanted to, can pull out his $31 a day from his fertilizer. He could literally just go over to Trader Joe. He can hit trade if he wanted to. He can go to if he wanted to, he could take his fertilizer. See, I have 2612 in there right now. He could swap that fertilizer for AVAX. He could swap that fertilizer to USDC or Magic Internet Money or whatever, right? $21 for 2612 in terms of Fert. He could even decide, hey, I like Bitcoin. He can decide, listen, I'm just going to convert my daily fertilizer production to Bitcoin. See? So chicken is life. Chicken lay egg. It's important to just be playing the game. Continue playing the game. And as long as you're playing the game, you're going to continually be rewarded. The game continues to pay you back. So that's the last piece that I have I wanted to share in this video. I know it's a long video. I got eggs to burn. I got to expand my farmland. I'm at a pivotal point now to where I need more farmland. I need more tiles because I need to keep going deeper in the worm farm. So I'm going to shut it down and welcome any comments, questions, thoughts, suggestions, feedback. But remember, chicken lay egg, chicken is life. And the one thing that will happen no matter what the market is doing right now is chickens will continue to lay egg. The fertilizers continue to come out of those roosters. The yields from the farmland will continue to come out of that farmland. And those are all convertible or usable in our upgradable world of chicken. Eggnite, Madskullz, EdgyEggs, all of those are operating off of the same chicken ecosystem. Pretty cool. So long video. There's some smaller, shorter videos on my YouTube channel as well. So feel free to check those out. But this is the whole shebang. That's what I'm calling this, the whole shebang. So thanks, guys. I appreciate you participating. Sorry it was a super long video. But again, comments, description, all that stuff has what you need. If you have any questions, you can find it in there. Thanks, guys. Take care. And bok bok.